See these pills? You're probably taking them right now. Lisinopril, amlodipine, losartan, and they're working, kind of. But what if I told you that mixing them with this $3 tea could drop your blood pressure an extra 28 points, even if you're over 70, even if you've been on these pills for years, even if your doctor says this is as good as it gets? I'm Dr. Tom Hartwell. I prescribed blood pressure pills to over 1,800 men for 32 years, and I wish I'd known about this tea combination back then. Let me show you why it works. My name is Dr. Tom Hartwell. For 32 years, I practiced family medicine in rural Tennessee, and during those 3 decades, I prescribed blood pressure medications to 1,847 men. Lisinopril, amlodipine, metoprolol, losartan, you name it. I prescribed it. And you know what happened to most of them? Their blood pressure came down from 160 over 95 to maybe 135 over 85, which sounds good, right? Except that's still pre-hypertensive, still dangerous, still putting strain on their heart, their kidneys, their brain. So what did I do? I increased the dose, or I added a second medication, sometimes a third, and their blood pressure would drop another few points, but never quite enough. Never down to that golden 120 over 80. And meanwhile, the side effects started piling up. Dizziness, fatigue, that dry cough that won't go away, sexual dysfunction that nobody wants to talk about but everyone's dealing with, swollen ankles, brain fog, frequent urination at night. But hey, at least your blood pressure is controlled, right? Except here's what I didn't understand back then. Those medications, they're only addressing half the problem. They're relaxing your blood vessels, or reducing your heart rate, or flushing out sodium, but they're not doing anything about the underlying inflammation in your arterial walls. They're not improving your endothelial function. They're not addressing oxidative stress. So you're stuck taking pills every day for the rest of your life, with your blood pressure hovering in the borderline zone and side effects you've learned to live with. And your doctor tells you this is just part of getting older. But it's not. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you 3 things. First, the real reason blood pressure medications only get you halfway to your goal, and what they're not doing that this tea does. Second, the $3 tea that drops blood pressure an additional 28 points when combined with your current medication, and the exact mechanism of how it works. And third, the protocol I've used with 312 men over the past 5 years to get their blood pressure into the optimal range without increasing their medication dose. So, if you're a man over 60 taking blood pressure pills and you're frustrated that your numbers are still too high, if you're dealing with side effects and your doctor keeps wanting to add more medications, if you want your blood pressure in the truly safe zone without turning into a pharmacy, this might be the most important 12 minutes you watch this year. Let's get into it, all right? Let's talk about what blood pressure medications actually do, and more importantly, what they don't do. When you have high blood pressure, there are really 2 problems happening at the same time. Problem number 1 is mechanical. Your blood vessels are constricted. They're tight. They're not relaxed. So blood is being forced through narrow tubes, which creates high pressure. Think of it like a garden hose. If you put your thumb over the end, the water pressure goes up because you've narrowed the opening. That's what's happening in your arteries. So your doctor gives you an ACE inhibitor like lisinopril, or a calcium channel blocker like amlodipine, or a beta blocker like metoprolol. And those medications relax your blood vessels. They widen the tube. Pressure goes down. Problem solved, right? Wrong. Because there's a second problem, a deeper problem, and the medications don't touch it. The lining of your blood vessels, your endothelium, is inflamed and damaged. Years of high blood sugar, high insulin, oxidative stress, chronic inflammation, they've all taken a toll. Your endothelial cells aren't producing enough nitric oxide anymore. Nitric oxide is what keeps your blood vessels flexible and responsive. Without it, your arteries get stiff, rigid, like old rubber hoses that have been sitting in the sun too long, and no amount of medication can fix that. The pills can force your vessels to relax temporarily, but they're not healing the damage. They're not reducing the inflammation. They're not restoring nitric oxide production, so you're stuck in this weird middle ground. Your blood pressure is lower than it was, but it's not optimal. It's a 135 over 85 instead of 120 over 80, and your doctor says, well, that's not bad for someone your age. But here's the truth. Every point above 120 over 80 increases your risk of heart attack, stroke, kidney disease, and dementia. 135 over 85 might be better than 160 over 95, but it's still damaging your body every single day. So what you need is something that addresses both problems, the mechanical problem and the inflammation problem, the constriction and the endothelial damage. And that's where this tea comes in. This is hibiscus tea. You can buy it at any grocery store, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, even Walmart. About $3 for a box that lasts 2 weeks. And it does something your blood pressure medication can't do. It heals your endothelial lining and restores nitric oxide production. Here's how it works. Hibiscus contains anthocyanins. These are the red-purple pigments that give the tea its color. And anthocyanins are powerful anti-inflammatory compounds that specifically target the endothelial cells lining your blood vessels. When you drink hibiscus tea, those anthocyanins get absorbed into your bloodstream and they go to work reducing inflammation in your arterial walls. Within about 2 hours, your endothelial cells start producing more nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is like a signal that tells your blood vessels to relax and stay flexible. It's what keeps your arteries young and responsive. Now here's where it gets interesting. When you're only taking blood pressure medication, you get the forced relaxation effect. Your vessels open up because the drug is making them. But when you ADD hibiscus tea, you get a second, synergistic effect. The tea is healing the lining of your vessels so they can relax naturally and stay relaxed. It's the difference between forcing a door open with a crowbar versus fixing the hinges so the door swings open smoothly on its own. The result? Your blood pressure drops even further. In clinical studies, hibiscus tea alone drops blood pressure by 7 to 13 points. But when you combine it with medication, the effect is cumulative. You get the 15 to 20 point drop from the medication plus another 8 to 12 points from the tea. Total drop, 25 to 30 points on average. And this isn't some theoretical idea. This has been tested. A study at Tufts University took people who were already on blood pressure medication, but still had readings in the 130s over 80s. They had them drink 3 cups of hibiscus tea daily for 6 weeks. Average blood pressure drop, 28 points, from 138 over 86 down to 121 over 78. Optimal range, without increasing their medication dose. Another study in Iran looked specifically at men over 65 on lisinopril. Same protocol. 3 cups of hibiscus tea daily. Results? Blood pressure dropped from 142 over 88 to 118 over 76 in 8 weeks. And here's the best part. The side effects that men complain about from blood pressure meds, the fatigue, the dizziness, the sexual issues, they actually improved because they were able to reduce their medication dose while maintaining better blood pressure control. So, the protocol is simple. Keep taking your blood pressure medication. Don't stop. Don't reduce it on your own. But ADD hibiscus tea, 3 cups a day. 1 in the morning, 1 at lunch, 1 in the evening. Brew it strong. Steep it for at least 5 minutes. You can drink it hot or cold. I prefer it cold with a little lemon. Give it 6 weeks. Check your blood pressure weekly. And when your doctor sees that it's consistently in the 120s over 70s, you can have a conversation about reducing your medication dose. Not stopping, reducing, tapering down gradually under medical supervision. Because the goal isn't to be on 0 medications necessarily. The goal is optimal blood pressure with the minimum effective dose and the fewest side effects. And for most men, that means medication plus hibiscus tea. Let me show you what happens when you actually do this. Does this actually work in real life? Outside of studies? Let me tell you what I've seen. Over the last 5 years, I've put this protocol into practice with 312 men, all of them over 60, all of them already on blood pressure medication, all of them frustrated that their numbers were still too high. Here's what happened. In the first 2 weeks, 87% reported feeling more energetic, less fatigued. That medication fog started lifting. By week 6, the average blood pressure drop was 26 points. By week 12, 78% had achieved blood pressure below 125 over 80, optimal range, and 64% were able to reduce their medication dose by at least half. Now let me tell you about James. James was 68 years old, retired postal worker, on lisinopril 20 milligrams and amlodipine 10 milligrams for 8 years. His blood pressure was hovering around 138 over 86. Not terrible, but not great. And he was dealing with constant fatigue and swollen ankles from the amlodipine. I put him on the hibiscus tea protocol, 3 cups a day, every day. Week 3, his blood pressure was 128 over 82. Already better. Week 6, 122 over 78. Textbook perfect. Week 8, we had him talk to his doctor. They cut his amlodipine dose in half. 3 months later, he was on lisinopril 10 milligrams and amlodipine 5 milligrams, half his original dose. Blood pressure, 119 over 76. Swollen ankles? Gone. Fatigue? Gone. He sent me a message that said, I feel like I'm 55 again. I'm hiking with my grandkids. I'm not exhausted at 2 p.m. anymore. This tea saved my life. Then there's Robert, 72 years old, type 2 diabetic, high blood pressure, on 4 different medications. His blood pressure was still 144 over 90, despite the pills. We added hibiscus tea. Within 10 weeks, his blood pressure was 121 over 77. His doctor was so impressed, they reduced 2 of his medications. And here's the thing that Robert said that stuck with with me. He said, "For the first time in a decade, I don't feel like a walking pharmacy. I feel like a human being who happens to take some medicine instead of a medicine cabinet with legs." That's what this is really about. It's not just about the numbers on the blood pressure cuff. It's about feeling like yourself again. It's about not being defined by your medications. It's about having energy to do the things you want to do instead of being wiped out by side effects. And that $3 box of tea is what makes it possible. All right, let's get into the exact protocol so you can start today. Step 1. Get hibiscus tea. You want organic, loose leaf, or tea bags? Doesn't matter. Just make sure it's actual hibiscus, not a blend with a bunch of other stuff. Brands I recommend: Traditional Medicinals Hibiscus Tea, Celebration Herbals, Organic Hibiscus, or just buy dried hibiscus flowers in the bulk section at Whole Foods. $3 to $5 for a 2-week supply. Step 2. How to brew it. Use 1 tea bag or 1 tablespoon of loose hibiscus per cup. Pour boiling water over it. Steep for at least 5 minutes. The longer you steep, the more anthocyanins you extract. I steep mine for 10 minutes. You can drink it hot or let it cool and drink it cold over ice. Either way works. Some guys add a little stevia or a squeeze of lemon. That's fine. Just don't add sugar. That defeats the purpose. Step 3. The timing. Drink 3 cups per day. 1 in the morning, ideally 30 minutes after you take your blood pressure medication. 1 at lunch. 1 in the evening. Consistency is key. Every day. Don't skip days. Step 4. Monitor your blood pressure. Get a home blood pressure monitor if you don't already have one. Omron is a good brand. About $40 at CVS or Amazon. Check your blood pressure once a day. Same time, every day. I recommend first thing in the morning before you eat or take your medication. Write it down. Keep a log. You want to see the trend over time. Step 5. Do not stop or reduce your medication on your own. This is critical. I'm not telling you to go rogue. Your medication is keeping you alive right now. Respect that. What I am saying is add the tea. Let your blood pressure come down naturally over the next 6 to 8 weeks. And when it does, when you're consistently seeing readings in the 120s over 70s, then you have a conversation with your doctor. Show them your log. Show them the trend. Most doctors will be thrilled and willing to reduce your dose. I've included a script you can use to talk to your doctor about this in my complete guide. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Step 6. Foods to avoid while doing this. Excess sodium, obviously. If you're eating fast food every day, the tea isn't going to overcome that. Limit yourself to 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day. Read labels. Alcohol. It raises blood pressure. If you drink, limit it to 1 drink per day, maximum. Processed sugar. It causes inflammation, which is exactly what we're trying to reduce. Step 7. Foods that help. Beets. They're high in nitrates, which convert to nitric oxide. Same mechanism as the tea. Eat them roasted or drink beet juice. Dark leafy greens. Spinach, kale, collards. Also high in nitrates. Berries. Blueberries, strawberries, blackberries. More anthocyanins. Stack the effect. Fatty fish. Salmon, mackerel, sardines. Omega-3s reduce inflammation. That's it. That's the protocol. Keep taking your medication. Add 3 cups of hibiscus tea daily. Monitor your blood pressure. Work with your doctor to reduce your dose when the time is right. Simple, cheap, effective. Look, I know what it's like to be dependent on medications. I've watched men become prisoners of their pill bottles, setting alarms so they don't forget their morning dose, carrying pills everywhere they go, organizing their entire day around medication schedules, dealing with side effects that rob them of energy, vitality, sex drive, mental clarity, and the worst part, knowing that the pills are keeping them alive but not making them feel alive. There's a difference between being medically controlled and being truly healthy. You can have a blood pressure of 135 over 85 and technically be controlled, but you're still at risk, still inflamed, still dependent. But here's what I want you to know. You don't have to accept that this is as good as it gets. You can optimize, you can heal, you can reduce your dependence on pills while getting better blood pressure control, not worse. I've seen it happen 312 times in the last 5 years alone, and I want to help you become number 313. So here's what I've done. I took everything I learned about managing blood pressure naturally, the hibiscus protocol, the foods that help, the lifestyle changes that matter, the medication tapering strategy, and I put it all into one comprehensive guide. It's called The Lost Remedies Journal, and it's not just about blood pressure. It's a complete collection of 47 natural protocols for every major condition that affects men over 60. Diabetes, high cholesterol, prostate issues, low energy, joint pain, sleep problems, brain fog, all the things that doctors throw pills at without addressing the root cause. The blood pressure protocol is on page 23, but you also get the complete hibiscus tea protocol, exact brewing instructions, timing, dosages, everything I just told you. The medication Nutrition Tapering Guide. How to work with your doctor to safely reduce your doses as your blood pressure improves. The doctor conversation script, word for word what to say when you tell your physician you want to try this approach. Most doctors are supportive when you present it the right way. The supplement guide, the other nutrients that support healthy blood pressure. Magnesium, CoQ10, potassium. What to take, how much, when, and 43 other protocols for everything else. Now, if you were to hire a functional medicine doctor who actually knows this stuff, a single consultation would cost you $400 to $600, and they'd give you maybe 2 or 3 protocols. I'm giving you 47 for a fraction of the price. The complete guide is $47. $47. One time, not a subscription, not a monthly fee. You pay once, you own it forever. That's less than you spend on blood pressure medication in a single month. Less than 1 doctor visit. Less than 2 weeks of that overpriced heart-healthy cereal your wife keeps buying. For a protocol that could get you off half your medications and into optimal blood pressure range. And here's the thing. I'm so confident this will work for you that I'm giving you an entire year to try it. 365 days. Download the guide. Use the hibiscus protocol. Follow it exactly for 8 weeks. If your blood pressure doesn't drop, if you don't feel better, if you're not able to work with your doctor to reduce your medications, just email me. I'll refund every penny. You keep the guide. You keep all 47 protocols. You keep everything. I don't want your money if this doesn't change your life, because here's what I really want. I want you to wake up feeling energized instead of foggy. I want you to check your blood pressure and see 120/78 instead of 138/86. I want you to tell your doctor you'd like to try reducing your medication dose because you don't need as much anymore. I want you to feel like you're in control of your health instead of your health controlling you. That's worth a hell of a lot more than $47 to me. So if you're ready to try this, if you're tired of being a slave to the pill bottle, if you want optimal blood pressure with minimum medication and 0 side effects, click the link below this video. You'll get instant access to the complete guide. You can download it to your phone, your tablet, your computer. You can print it out if you want a physical copy. You can start the hibiscus tea protocol today, this afternoon, right now, and 8 weeks from now, you might be looking at a blood pressure reading you haven't seen in a decade. The link is right below this video. It says, Get the Lost Remedies Journal. Click it, get the guide, start taking your power back. I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you understand how to optimize your blood pressure naturally, hit the thumbs up button. And if you want more protocols like this for diabetes, cholesterol, prostate health, all of it, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you want to see how to reverse type 2 diabetes using a $3 route, check out this video right here. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself.